Hey guys, back again. Today I'm going to talk about bear canisters, their use, general guidelines, packing them, and basically how many days they're good for and so forth. A lot of trails require them, so this is some general information on the bear canisters based on what I've learned and the use of my bear canister. So the main ones are the Garcia and the Bear Vault. And the Garcia is the one I show here. This is the Model 812. It's called the Backpacker's Cache. You can actually see the top of this. Backpacker's Cache. Another one that's real popular is the Bear Vault BV500. And they're both about the same weight. They're both 2 pounds 12 ounces for mine. The Bear Vault's 2 pounds 9 ounces, slightly lighter. And the this model is a 10 liter. I've seen it reported 11 liters, but it shows as 10 liters. The Bear Vault's slightly bigger, 11.5 liters. The approximate number of days that you can pack for something this size is about 7 days to maybe 8 days, maybe more depending on your calorie rate. The reason I chose this guy was, if you look at the way that this locks, it has 2 locking mechanisms here, and basically the other ones have a twist off, and I'll show that here in a moment. But the twist offs are a problem for me because some places actually, I know back east they actually had a bear to figure out the twist offs, and sometimes you don't get them all the way tight, and potentially a bear could get into it. I went with this. This is a twist lock. There's no way a bear is going to get into that one. The way this opens up is there's a little push button up here. Opens it up, and then opens everything inside. So you can see how that works. Now the thing about these are the pros and cons, right? So this is definitely bear proof, having those locks. But what you need to do for these locks is find a key, quarter. You basically lock them by twisting them, and then they're totally tight and locked in. So the drawback is you need a quarter, you need a key, you need a penny or a nickel, even a dime will work. Dimes are a little tough on your fingers, but quarter works the best. It's opaque, you can see, you can't see through it, and it's also very smooth. Now the good and bad of the smooth is that if you want to pack this on the outside of your pack, it doesn't have any really good gripping points. The BB500 has nubs, little plastic nubs, and makes it a little easier to pack on the outside. I pack mine on the inside. I wasn't worried about that. I actually like this because if it's hard for me to handle, slippery for me to handle, it's going to be slippery for the bear too. So when you're locating a canister, you want to be about 200 feet away from your tent and where you're going to be sleeping. You don't want to. The bears will come and check them out occasionally. They usually know that they can't get into them and they leave them alone. You also want to have it away from cliffs and water. Bears can kick it around a bit, gnaw on it, and your bear canister can wind up further away or someplace else from where you put it. So if it's close to a cliff, they can even drop it off a cliff. If it gets near water, you lose your entire cache that way. So I recommend to keep it away from those kind of items. You want it nestled away somewhere where it's snug, but you don't want it to get to a point where bears can actually use it to pry as a prying point to try to stress the can to get it opened. Now generally these things are pretty big. Like I said, 2 pounds, over 2.5 pounds. Takes up a lot of space in a bag. I have a 65 liter Atmos, the Osprey, and definitely it's tight. Generally you're going to carry these things in a vertical fashion like this in your bag, and you're going to put it somewhere midway along your back, but always as close to your back as possible, because this is a lot of weight. Once this is filled with food, you could easily have 12 to 15 pounds, the can and the food together. So you want to definitely have this placed strategically in your bag. Alright, a couple final things here about the packing. one thing I've shown you here, it's optional, which I didn't show you before, but a lot of people like to add either a reflective tape or like this duct tape, which I put on here, to make it easier, especially at night. And sometimes you hide these things. You know, they're 200 feet away. You want to find it in the dark, and these are black. They're hard to find. So this can be useful in helping you find it. If this is reflective tape, it's even more so. Also, again, if the bears paw this around and they moved it from where it was, you might really rely on something like this to help you find this, because it can be hard to find. Okay, so that's that. Lastly here, you can see I've thrown in maybe 8 days worth of dinners, actually. You know, you can see how big these bags are. I mean, and they're full of air. A lot of air in them. This is really tough to pack into here. They're also quite stiff. So definitely by taking them out, and I said last year I did this and it just saved me a huge amount of space. Pack them out, put them into plastic bags, and basically label them, and you can do the use a Sharpie marker and just label the amount. Here's the amount of water, the amount of prepping time. If there are any special prepping, you put it here. What I like to do to save even more time is when I'm cutting this out, the bag open, putting it into these bags, I cut out what this is and the directions. I also throw the moisture bag, the anti-moisture, into here. I don't know if it's useful anymore, given that this is a pretty thin bag, but I throw these in there, and then this is ready to go. And the amount of volume, it's more pliable, and these get a lot smaller. So highly recommend when you want to pack more into the backpacker's cache, especially if you're running out of room. So that's about it. Hope you liked the video. If you have any comments or input, would be very interested in knowing. So thanks again.